Greetings, astrology friends. Shannon Gill, Evolutionary Astrologer here today. Want to chat a little bit about the upcoming lunar eclipse on Saturday the 28th in Taurus. But before we go into anything too deeply, I'm just so curious, how is everybody doing? This has been quite an intense eclipse portal for so many. Just to remind you too, if you're a little bit new to astrology, the lunations of the actual eclipses are the apex. However, we're in this orb of energy that's kind of like a cauldron where everything is sort of morphing and transforming and transmuting. Everything is being amplified and accelerated, whatever's in the field, for 6 weeks. So the full moon in Aries, that fiery full moon, September 29th, opened the gate. It won't close until November 13th at the new moon in Scorpio, which is when we start the integration period. And in this 6-week orb of time, the lights are out, right? There's an obscuration of the light. So there's a level of existential anxiety sometimes during an eclipse because things are changing so dramatically. There's a sense that we're not in control of our lives, which from the highest perspective, are we really? And so this is where we get to double down on our faith and understanding that A, we're eternal, B, there's something higher that's mysterious that is working in our favor at all times, and that we really need to lean into, our understanding of the natural laws, just like nature. We go through these processes of decay and the magic in the compost and then the rebirthing that happens in the spring. And so I'm just kind of curious to take a temperature on how everybody's doing. You also can look back 9 years to the last time that the eclipses were in the same axis of Libra Aries, 18 years, like that, to see some of the themes that might be arising for you. So please leave a little message in the chat. I love to stay in touch on a more personal level. And welcome to Scorpio season. The sun has now left peacemaking, harmonizing Libra and dove into the deep, intense underworld of Scorpio. So we definitely are starting our descent into the underworld during the eclipse season, going to be building towards this big lunar eclipse in Taurus on Saturday the 28th. The sun has entered Scorpio and joined up with Mars and Mercury. So there's this real sort of getting down to things, getting to the truth, getting beneath the surface, beneath the fluff, no more playing Mr. Nice Guy, going to get to the truth, going to reveal what has maybe been hidden. We are definitely in this massive time of transformation on the planet. Things are really, really intense and uncertain on the global stage. And so we have to understand that that means that we may be feeling some of this also on an internal level, and really called to dig deep and to find out where we may be hiding from ourselves, or where there's just another layer of the snakeskin that's ready to be shed, which is really what's so potent about this eclipse that's coming, this lunar eclipse on Saturday the 28th. It's at 5 degrees Taurus, and it's the final eclipse of the series that started back in November of 2021. We've been dancing with the polarities of Scorpio and Taurus now for the last year and a half, and this is the conclusion. And so this is a really, really potent portal to really do some finalization of the deeper work that we've been doing. When we talk about the Taurus Scorpio axis, we're talking about all the things that we love and that we want to preserve and that we value, all the things of beauty that are tangible in our resource world, the earth, the mother herself, all of the beauty of the food and the nourishment and the things that give us pleasure. And then also at the elimination of such and the maybe out of balance relationship to such. So we are looking at what is it we're holding on to and what we hold dear, and what is it that we maybe need to release and let go of. There's this axis that sort of wants to keep us in integrity around what is a rightful balance between holding and preserving and surrendering and not having attachment. They say that the Buddha was a Taurus, and Buddhism, of course, is all about non-attachment. There's this real reshuffling of what is most essential right now on the planet as we're going to be going through these deeper layers of alchemical change as a humanity at this time of the great turning. And we can't live the way that we've been living. We can't have all the conveniences, and we can't really just only focus on those things that make us comfortable. The eclipse that happened on the 14th, the solar eclipse in Libra, was really the invitation to strike a new balance on the planet. That is going to be essential that we're working more in an organismic fashion, that we are not taking too much, and that we are not putting our head in the sand about the choices that we make for the things that we want to acquire or the conveniences that we want to have that actually is detrimental to the sustainability and to the health of the planet and to all of humanity. So we're up against, some really, really important nuanced decisions within ourselves. And these eclipses give us this opportunity to really have these big ahas or take these quantum leaps, or if we're off track, we might get sort of shocked into a new way of being or a new perspective. And that is definitely something that happens often during the eclipse portal, is rapid change, kind of like a Uranus transit where it's unexpected and it brings a level of shock. And both of the axes, the Libra Aries and the Scorpio Taurus axis, are the relationship axis. So I don't know many people that are not feeling some kind of, the tectonic plates beneath the feet of your relationships, feeling some pressure and some change and some up against edges and things that just can't go on anymore, and bringing up really deep old emotional patterns, Scorpio, things that are maybe traumatic from our childhood that are triggering our relationship to ourselves and then to our partners. And so this is all really, really, really potent that is in the field right now for us to find some deep integration. There are going to be many relationships that aren't going to make it. And then the ones that are, that go through this portal together, are going to come out stronger than ever, more unified than ever, deeply, deeply soulfully in alignment, which is what the Taurus Scorpio axis really invites us into, is a deep soul merging that can take us further than we can go ourselves. And so, it's this like sort of turning coal to diamonds that's this moment in evolution for all of us. And it's just this bringing this level of intensity with it being in the eclipse season that is really bringing us all to our edge. Another component of the Scorpio Taurus axis is the axis of our finances. And so you can also, again, look back the last year and a half and look at the journey you've been on. A lot of us have been on a reassessment, as we're shifting into this new timeline. It's sort of like, what are going to be the essential services? What are going to be the basic essentials that we're going to need to prioritize if we may be going through this time of transformation planetarily, which could include economic collapse. So, this is really an important component as well. And this is where we have to really downshift into that North Node in Taurus, which is asking us, how can we simplify? How can we get back to the natural rhythms? How can we live in harmony with the earth, the planet herself, which is infinitely abundant? When we're on the right channel, when we're on the right frequency, which is also Taurus, which has to do with creativity and joy and frequency and love and beauty and art, then we tap into infinite abundance, which is a vibration. So there's different levels of working with these energies, and we are definitely, as I always say, we're not just straddling the ages, we're straddling the dimensional states as well, the levels of evolution. So that's where our work really needs to focus, is where are we? What are we attuning to on a daily level? What are our priorities? Where are our essential needs and our essential services in alignment? And how do we obtain and maintain these frequencies, which really enables us to be co-creators with ease and flow, that we bring forth our dream seeds, our contribution to the whole with ease and with grace. And from that vantage point, or from that vibrational state, we're also embroidering a new fabric upon the planet so that other energies can be brought into that higher level of experience. So I'm just thinking so much about all of you during this time. I'm really grateful for that you're being awake and a part of the shift, and I'd really love to hear from you about how it's going. For any of you who would like to go deeper into the archetypal meanings of this eclipse season, I have created a webinar that I will put the link in the notes below. It's an hour and a half, and it's a deep dive into the archetype of Libra, how it is an essential exploration in the new age of Aquarius, about this essential need to really understand the connection between the light and the dark, working neutrality instead of duality, and also specifically about what these eclipses mean for us and as a collective. So again, thank you for tuning in. Much love to all.